Annyeonghaseyo, this is meowmurai. Let's go over something real fast with Underdog Detective running on PlayStation 5. Now this is an FMV game. It's a bit of a detective, well, sort of a detective comedy set in ancient times. I don't know. I don't want to give too much away about it, but what we see here is the ability to have multiple languages. Again, if you want to run this game with a language of your choice, the first thing you'll want to do is you want to go and set manage your software, right? And then you can select the language that you want to install, right? You'll hit this download link here, and then that will install. There's only a couple kilobytes. It's not very big to get a new pack for an installation. So once you have an install of a language, which should only take a little while, you can start the game. You'll notice here I have it in Korean. I have my system language in Korean. And so the game subtitles will follow the system language. Right, so you have the episodes here, and then you have the, what is this, the archive? I think this is the archive. Yeah, so you have all the character profiles, and then you have the chapter reviews. So if you have this set to the, so this game will display in the language of your system. So your system actually determines which language will be displayed on the game itself. So if you change your system settings, that means the subtitles that you selected to download will be the ones that show up. Right, we can continue chewing on our grass, or we can do something big. Now, with that being said, if for some reason you want to change your language, you can go ahead and do your system settings, and then change your system language. Here we'll pick English United States. It will apply the change, and in some cases, if you don't have the language installed, it will install the language as part of another update. Now we're back out here, and again, we can look at our managed content, and we just want to make sure that we have the version of English that we want. You know, we have U.S. English and UK English, or perhaps if you want one of these other languages, you can install those as well. Now, when we start up our game, yep, you'll notice that now our subtitles are in the language of our system language. The game will always have it'll always have Chinese as the spoken language, but you know, the subtitles you can change to the language of your system. So yeah, you'll have to make sure that you download the right language pack when you manage your software, And you'll also have to make sure that that language is supported in your system. So you have to change your system language as well. And there you go. If you prefer to play it in another language, in this case we switched it to English from Korean, then yeah, this is how you do it. Yeah, it's not too obvious. Unfortunately, there's not like some good set of instructions on multiple language support in games, and some games have an option inside of the game itself. But in this case, this game uses your system settings in order to determine the language that it wants to display, and you also have to download the correct language pack if your game supports multiple languages. So again, in here, we can look at the the fourth selection here. And then we can pick the language that we want. And then we'll change our system language to match that language that we downloaded the language pack in. And this is true for all games. There are some other games too that have multiple language support. I think I had somebody else ask about one of the visual novels that I played a while ago. And it's the same deal here. You know, the system language determines the language that the game is played in if it has multiple languages, and then the game itself needs to have the language pack installed. So yeah, probably more work than it should be, but that's how you do it. So yeah, if you have any other questions, certainly let me know. Maybe not necessarily about Underdog Detective. I think that game is a little bit more fun when you play it yourself. But if you need to change languages, then that's how you do it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.